Your body can only move in so many ways, but the approach, the aesthetic.
Right, and
You
it's
know.
important. It's very important to discuss this point in history, to acknowledge that, like I said, these two brothers that were in New York,
Hmm.
which at the late '70s, correct?
Yeah.
And people and b-boys and b-girls were doing the same moves in the early '70s, and so obviously capoeira didn't
Well,
evolve
you
from
know,
b-boys, and apparently b-boys and b-girls didn't evolve from capoeira.
Yeah.
Yet they both independently had the same movements
Yeah,
and
well,
portions of the body
I
aesthetic.
say positions and not the transitions. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? You can go into the same positions, but the way you get there and the way you get out and the way you move in your body. I mean, b-boying is its own aesthetic, man. Just so you know, I'm trying to up my b-boy game right now.
That's Nate Rock right
You
there.
know,
With an
I mean,
asterisk.
shoot,
With an asterisk.
I've been, you know what I mean? I've been
Yeah,
on this
for sure.
capoeira joint for a minute, but you know, it's like hip hop, man.
And like you
know,
say,
it's
the source,
yeah.
the source, and that's what it's in reference to, is tracing backwards, and that's why this is crucial to a month where we focus on history in this regard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To look backwards in the source, to recognize two independently evolved art forms, and to notice these similarities.
Yes.
And that's acknowledgement of the path that it took. And so to acknowledge these things that were inherently African,
Mm-hmm.
it's very important, and it's one of the crucial things of why things that hip hop has brought through the world and things that documentarians around the world maintain to do is especially important in a situation like something that resulted from the transatlantic slave trade,
Mm-hmm.
where culture was systematically and intentionally eradicated.
Yes. Yeah.
And
yeah.
it was an attempt to close down this path from old man to young man, old man or
Yeah,
woman to young
you're trying to
man or
break
woman,
generations.
to break that gap between generations, and yet
Mhm.
it managed to still exist via capital.